Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Nicolette, and here on my channel we talk about books and a lot of reality TV. And I've been MIA for a little bit, so let's catch up. So at the beginning of Big Brother season, I really wanted to try and post really consistently over here on YouTube and post my live feed updates and all those different kinds of things. But honestly, between this season of Big Brother just kind of being a little bit more crazier than the past few seasons have been, as well as like I was starting a new job, kiddos were starting school, it was all just a lot to keep up with. So I decided to just post updates on TikTok. And now with the season coming to an end, I do want to get back to creating content over on YouTube. We've got our school schedule all figured out. I've, settled into the routine of the new job and everything. So I just feel like I'm in a spot where I can get back to putting some more focus over here on YouTube. So welcome to the first episode of Reality Roundup. Each Sunday, I'm going to be posting a video like this where I just sit down and chat about the reality shows that I'm watching this week. And hopefully you will chat with me in the comments about what your thoughts were, what your thoughts on my opinions were, any questions that you have, or, maybe we make predictions for things that are going to happen in upcoming episodes. Whatever the case may be, these will be our videos to chat about reality TV shows that we are currently watching. So in today's video, we are going to be chatting about the ending of Big Brother 27. I am filming this on Saturday, the day before the finale, and this video will go up before the finale airs. There will be potentially some live feed spoilers in this video, so if you do not want any live feed spoilers, please make sure you skip over the Big Brother portion of this. We'll also be chatting about the premiere of Survivor as well as the premiere of Amazing Race. And then from time to time, I'm also going to throw in some different thoughts and opinions about Dancing with the Stars. I don't really think I have much to share or say about Dancing with the Stars this week. So let's dive into Big Brother first. Okay, so like I said, I am filming this the day before the finale airs. We do know who's won part 1 and part 2 of the 3-part HOH so far. So we can chat about that. And then I'm also going to lock in some predictions for things that I think are going to happen on finale night. So as far as the 3-part HOH, we have Morgan that won part 1. And then Ashley won part 2. So they will face off against each other during the live show tomorrow night. And one of them will decide who is going to take someone with them between Morgan, Ashley, and Vinny to the final 2 chairs. Now, my first prediction I'm going to make is I do think that Morgan is going to win part 3. The reason for that is I went back and watched last year's finale and the third part of the HOH to see what that was like. Because back in the old school days, it very much used to be like who knows the jury more and who can answer questions based on like their relationships with them. It would be like let's use season 12 for example. Brittany Haynes said either A or B, so you kind of have to know her personality to know of those 2 options which thing would she be more likely to say. And in last year's, and I didn't go back and watch 25, but in 26 the competition was more about like what did the jury people do in the game? Meaning, like, let's use Quinn for an example. He would give 3 facts and they had to guess which one was incorrect. And so it would be like, I played in 7 veto competitions this summer. I was evicted on a 5-4 vote. I was head of household exactly 3 times. It was different things like that. And I think that Morgan knows those kind of facts way better than Ashley does. When it comes to like just knowing days and when things happened, Ashley knows that. But Morgan has really been diving into like who competed in what competition, what were the eviction votes, who was head of household, who went out on this week, what were the votes to vote him out. Like Morgan's really been studying a bunch of different types of facts about the game over the summer, and Ashley more so has been focused on like what the order of eviction was, when the competitions were, what were the competition names. So I think that Morgan just has an advantage if it's the same kind of competition. So I think Morgan's going to win part 3. And then I really honestly think she's going to take Vinny. I think that Vinny is really laying it on thick right now. How much he does not have a chance of winning. And I don't necessarily think it's true. I also don't necessarily think he thinks that way. He also has made a couple comments about how, like, if she cuts him at the final 3, doesn't take him to final 2, it's going to take him a while to personally get over it, and he might not talk to her for a little bit. And that's something that, like, really bothers Morgan, and he knows that. He's 100% using that as a manipulation tactic. But it's working. And Morgan has also really been kind of getting down on herself as well, to the point where she's like, I don't even know if I can beat Ashley at this point. Like, Ashley's had a really strong social game this whole time. And so I feel like her headspace is going to be like, I feel like I'm taking a gamble no matter who I'm going to take. I might as well take, like, the person I've been the closest with and continue on this, like, journey of being loyal, basically. So I think that that's going to happen. And then I think Morgan's going to end up winning the whole thing. I do see a couple votes going Vince's way. I think Lauren would vote for Vince. I also think Keanu, even though he's admitted Morgan is playing a really good game, I think that he would also vote for Vince, and potentially Kelly as well. Other than that, I think everyone else will be voting for Morgan, and I'm a little bit 50-50 on the Kelly vote, to be honest. As far as America's favorite player, I think that Keanu is going to win America's favorite player. I think top 3 is going to be Keanu, Rachel, and Will. I was really hoping that Rachel would win America's favorite. It's not something that she has won before, something that she wanted to win because her sister has won it. But I think that there's just a lot of casual fans that are really rooting for and voting for Keanu. I know in a lot of the different polls and stuff that people have been doing to gauge where America's favorite player votes are, Keanu is far and above anyone else. So I think that at this point, it's pretty safe to say that he has it locked in. The only reason I could see him not winning it is if people are just voting for the polls and not actually, like, going and making votes on CBS.com for him. That is potentially something that could happen, but I don't know. We'll see. I think that it's going to be Keanu by quite a bit. So that's how I think Big Brother is going to go. I think Reality Allie and I talked on our podcast last week about how last season there wasn't really a lot of post-season drama to keep up with. Obviously we had the Tucker and Rubina breakup, but that was like months and months later. That was only just a couple months ago, like right before the Big Brother season started. There just wasn't a lot of drama for that season. They were all pretty friendly with each other, with the exception of everyone and Angela. But I think that that'll be different for this season. I think that this will be a cast to kind of watch some of the fallout post-season. They might keep us entertained a little bit longer. So we might still have, like, real quick little Big Brother updates here and there if there's any, juicy drama to discuss. So let's jump into Survivor next. Okay, so this week was the Survivor 2-hour premiere episode. And honestly, I could say the same about Amazing Race. I feel like for a 2-hour episode, we didn't really spend enough time talking about who these new people are. I noticed it less with the Amazing Race, obviously, because it's a full Big Brother cast, so I'm very familiar with the Big Brother players, but I would have liked to get to know their family member or significant other a little bit better. But, like, over here on Survivor, there are people that I do not know their names. We were really heavily focused on the Blue Tribe, so it was, like, obvious that that was who was going to Tribal Council in this episode. I love Sophie B. If you don't know, I am a mutual with her on TikTok, so I've been waiting for this season to start so I can root her on. I think she had a fabulous first episode. She's doing great with her social game. She was right there in it on the competitions and challenges to be a good, strong member of her tribe. And I think that she was making some good strategical decisions. Nicole, the person that got voted out, my jaw was on the floor when she spit in Jeremiah's eye. And I did watch her exit interview with RHAP, and she said that it was cut from the episode, but that Jeremiah actually asked her to spit in his eye. But I was like, like, whenever it happened, I was just like, whoa. Like, the way they cut that was wild, because it did not seem like there was any kind of, like, pause in between him saying, like, how did you get your eyes cleaned, and her spitting in his eye. Like, it was wild. It was wild. I also learned from her exit interview that, you know, they were really kind of on, like, her and Annie about that last challenge and it being, like, their faults that they lost. But she was saying that the person that was holding the rope on the opposite side of Annie, Alex, maybe that's his name. Anyways, she was saying that it was actually more so his fault, because he was not giving Annie enough slack on her side to be able to move, like, as far over as needed. But the way that people were talking in the episode, as well as the way the episode was edited, it really looked like it was a Nicole and Annie problem when it was actually an Alex problem, which I thought was interesting to learn. I don't know. It was a decent first episode. Like I said, I'm really excited for Sophie B. We'll definitely be cheering her on for as long as she is on the show. She's getting a lot of good feedback so far, so I'm really, really excited for her. But it was just an okay episode for me. It wasn't anything too dramatic, not anything too shocking, aside from all of Nicole's bodily functions that were happening. So yeah, not a ton to really say and think about Survivor. I've got to learn who all of these people are and get to know them a little bit more before I can really, like, form some strong opinions on what I think is going to happen and what's going on. Let's dive into Amazing Race. With Amazing Race being an all Big Brother cast, I obviously was extremely excited for this premiere. I'm so happy, and it was giving me so much joy to have Izzy from BB25 back on my screen. I love her so much. She is such good television, and I feel like they did not do a good job of portraying her on BB25 episodes. She was gold on the live feeds, and so I was very excited to see her back on the screen. And her and Paige went from bottom of that very first challenge they did to all the way to a third place finish on this leg. So, like, I think they're gonna do really well. That's really impressive to go from bottom and, like, get over the mental blockage that would cause and finish all the way in third place. They did an excellent job. I thought it was really cool. Just seeing her interact with some different people from the Big Brother community, as well as her throwing some strays over to Jag constantly, because yes, exactly. Jag and Jazz, they did a good job. Obviously they also kind of started at the bottom like Izzy and Paige did after the first challenge, and then they ended up being team number 1. Knew that Eric and Tucker were going to be a strong team just because they are, it's a male-male partnership, but also just really strong and good at different things. It's not just that they are, like, buff dudes, but they also are, like, good at puzzles and, you know, different things like that. So they'll be a very strong team as well. Wasn't surprised at all that Enzo lost. I mean, has the dude... I know he made it to the end of the challenge and then, like, quit during the, like, final whatever, but... did he, like, actually win stuff in the challenge? Because, like, he's, like, never won shit on Big Brother. So it was, like, I don't even know why he was put on the Amazing Race. I guess they needed someone from an old season to say that they had someone. But, honestly, I could have done without. I thought it was really interesting. And I need to finish listening to the recap episode with RHAP of the episode. But, when Turner and Megan got to the finish line, Phil was like, you guys finished at this spot if you want to continue. Like, he only phrased it that way to them. And I know that they faced a lot of frustration, you know, during their time. So I'm wondering, like, did they attempt to quit? Like, that was really kind of weird. So I need to listen to RHAP and see if, like, they mentioned anything about it. Maybe it was just, like, me. I don't watch every season of Amazing Race, so maybe that was kind of, like, normal. But it was like, he was like, if you wish to continue. And I was like, they have the option to continue? Like, why is it phrased that way? I don't know. Maybe it was just me. I loved Chada and her sister. They were so cute, and I think that they're there to just, like, have a good time, enjoy it, embrace the experience for what it is, which is really enjoyable to watch. I think seeing the dynamics between Tucker and Rubina is very interesting considering what we know now. If you don't know, at the time that they filmed Amazing Race, they were still a couple. We saw them have a little smooch in the premiere episode, but they have since broken up. We don't really know what the reason for that was. And I do kind of wonder if we see some of that start to happen, we see some cracks in their relationship or anything like that. That'll be interesting to watch for, because it was just like a couple months after that they ended up announcing that they were splitting up. Taylor and Kyland, you know, they're always on and off again. I mean, just because who they are, I think that they will have a very good shot at making it very far in the game. I also listened to a preseason interview on RHAP with Taylor that they did, and she kind of went into detail about all of the preparation that her and Kylan did for the Amazing Race, and it was, as predicted with Kylan, very good preparation. A lot of different, I don't know, it was interesting. They like said that they would do basically like fake legs of the race, where they would like stay at a friend's house in a different town or state or something along those lines, and they would have different challenges like around that city that they would have to like navigate and find different places or whatever. So, and they like learned how to drive a stick and took lessons for that, and just all different kinds of things like that. So I think they went into it really prepared. I know that Izzy and Paige did something similar, and they actually did it in Europe, in London, I believe. But yeah, I don't know. I'm really excited. I know, based on information that came out from the BB cruise, that there's like a lot of drama this season. I don't think we really saw that on the first episode. Apparently there was an argument there at the starting line between Angela and Tucker, or an exchanging of words or something like that didn't make the episode. So hopefully they don't cut out all the drama, because obviously this is the Amazing Race. It's not necessarily like a drama-filled show typically like Big Brother is, but there is some, so hopefully we at least get some of it and they don't cut all of it out. But I thought it was a pretty good and entertaining first episode. So I don't know, I'm really excited for this next week's episode as well. We'll have to see how it goes. But so far, I think that they are off to a good start. I think after next week, I'm going to start making predictions about who I think is going to end up being eliminated and who will win the next leg. Again, it is spoiler free. It is truly predictions, because I don't know. And honestly, the only reason I'm doing it with Amazing Race and not Survivor is this is my second season back of Survivor, and I know it's like such a new era kind of way that I'm still kind of trying to figure out what the good logical strategies are these days with Survivor. So I don't feel confident in being able to like make any predictions or guesses when it comes to Survivor. So I'm going to just still be along for the ride for this season of Survivor. But Amazing Race, I don't mind making some guesses there. But really excited. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. Just some quick thoughts on all of my TV shows. In next week's video, we will definitely be chatting about what the outcome of this season of Big Brother is, and some final thoughts on the season, any tea if there is post-show, and then obviously we'll chat again about Survivor and the Amazing Race. And then depending on how Dancing with the Stars goes, maybe I'll give a quick rundown of some thoughts there. But we'll have a very Survivor and Amazing Race focused episode of this series next week. Let me know all your thoughts down in the comments, and if there's something else you're watching and you want to chat about, let me know that as well. I don't mind checking out some new shows. But other than that, I will catch you in the next video.